ships like that above their heads, yet they don't have the slightest clue. Human ignorance is arguably its greatest salvation.
Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to create voices for your characters. But first, let's play a little game. Here are 3 lines from the same character. Can you guess which one was generated by artificial intelligence?
Je dois le protéger.
You have until the end of the video to guess, otherwise, omae wa mo shindeiru. Joking aside, in Japan, voice acting is an art form. Seiyuu, the voice actors behind our favourite anime characters, are true stars. Their voices bring depth, emotion, and life to animation, often turning a good scene into something unforgettable. Everyone's probably remembered at least one disastrous dub that completely spoiled a scene or an entire anime.
Bonjour, Sangoa.
Bonjour tout le monde! Ça sent la mort ici!
But what if you could access that same creative power? Artificial intelligence is changing the game. Today I'm going to show you how to use powerful AI tools to create stunningly realistic and emotional voiceovers for your characters. You will be surprised. Let's go. To begin, go to the ElevenLabs website. You'll find all the necessary links in the description and pinned comment. Once on the site, open the Voices menu, then click Create or Clone a Voice in the top right. A pop-up will appear with 3 options. For this tutorial, we'll choose the first one, Voice Design. A new pop-up appears, containing several elements. First, there's a field to enter a prompt, where you describe your character's voice and how it should sound. Then, a second text box allows you to test the generated voice. And finally, a button to generate the voice. The first thing to do is write the right prompt to get your character's voice. When thinking about crafting a prompt, one of the first instincts is to use an AI tool like an LLM to help. On that note, here's a great tip: how to get free access to one of the best LLMs on the market. Just go to Google and search for AI Studio. Click the first link, and once there, you'll have direct access to the interface. As you can see at the top right, I have access to Gemini 1.5 Pro. I'll now enter a prompt to get help. By the way, all the prompts I use in the video description, feel free to reuse them. Here's what I'm going to write. First, I give an example. Here is an example of a prompt for a character. I provide a sample to show what the expected result should look like. Then I give the instruction. Adapt it for this character. And here I describe the character I'm looking for. In this example, I used a very detailed description. It's a character from my own series, but you could just as easily go with something like a powerful warrior. See? Even a short description like that works. However, if your character has well-defined traits, don't hesitate to include all of them. That will help you get a much more accurate result. Perfect! AI Studio generated several prompt suggestions for my character. Now that I have them, I can use them in voice design. I'll copy and paste the prompt that seems most relevant. Then I go back into voice design and paste my prompt into the first field. Now I press the Auto Generate button in the text preview section. ElevenLabs will automatically regenerate a preview script. Keep in mind that text-to-preview isn't just for listening to the voice. According to the documentation, the text you use for previewing plays an important role. It sets the tone, pacing, and emotion that the voice will try to reproduce. Basically, it's like giving the voice a little script so it knows how to express itself. That's why it's better to choose text that matches the personality and emotional style you want the voice to have. And actually, the longer the text, the more stable and expressive the result will be. With very short phrases, the voice can sound choppy or less natural. Just below that, you have the settings. You can adjust the loudness to make the voice louder or softer. You can also tweak the seed and the guidance scale. In general, a guidance scale value around 30% is a good starting point. I'll set it to 30%. All that's left is to click Generate Voice. And there you go, the voice generation is underway. It has been generated. If I don't like the result, I can just click Generate Voice again to get new variations. As you can see, you can use this method for any type of character. A police officer, a mad scientist, a soldier, a student. The possibilities are endless. It's a very simple and effective technique. If I use this technique and write a man with a funny voice like Hisoka's in Hunter x Hunter, here's what I get.
What an intriguing predicament we have here. You know, I do so adore a good challenge. It keeps things stimulating.
Look, for example, this is a scene from my own series.
The Japanese subject who caused the containment breach is currently being exfiltrated to our base.
That famous subject, the one who can interact with matter. How did such a prodigious subject end up with the Japanese branch? I see. Some
I used exactly this method to create it. It allowed me to generate the voices for those characters. Can't show you more right now, I'm still working on the series and don't want to spoil it. One last question. How do you generate the voice in another language? Let's say in Japanese for an anime style. It's very simple. In AI Studio, at the end of your prompt, just add the instruction, please write in Japanese. And that's it. The generated prompt will be in Japanese. You just have to paste it into ElevenLabs, and the voice will be generated in Japanese.
おい貴様、天上で俺と勝負する勇気があるっていうならお前の力しっかり見せてもらう。
Another example where this time in my prompt I write a powerful and eccentric anime antagonist.
我こそ究極の存在私の天才性がお前たちの絶望を際立たせるだろう。
And now, with the prompt, a man with a funny voice like Hisoka's in Hunter x Hunter.
見てよ見てよ、私の小さな友達は私と遊んでくれるかな。私のゲームをね。心配しないで。痛くはしないから。
Well, this time it has nothing to do with Hisoka's, but it's interesting. Sometimes when the AI doesn't respond exactly the way we want, it can paradoxically turn into a real creative opportunity. To wrap up, note that there are also pre-configured voices available like Angry Pirate or British CEO. You can use these ready-made prompts to quickly create a voice. Alright, now that you've got the voice you want, just select it and click on the Select Voice button at the bottom right. Next, give your voice a name. For example, I'll call mine Test Voice. Then, choose the language that the voice will use. If it's an English voice, I'll select English. If it's a Japanese voice, then I'll select Japanese. Simple as that. After that, just hit Save Voice. And that's it. Your voice is now created and it shows up under My Voices. Now you've got your very own artificial Seiyuu to voice your character. It's like having a voice actor ready to perform whenever you need. But of course, just like with a real actor, we have to guide them. And to do that, we go into the text-to-speech tab. Your voices are listed in the panel on the right. Just click on a select and then choose Voice Design to display the voices you've created. From there, simply pick the one you want to use. Now, we're simply going to write our line. So here it is, I've just written my line. Then, as you can see on the right-hand panel, you have several options you can choose from. For now, I'll start with a stability setting at the minimum, just to see how it works.
It's nothing but noise to me. Is this all you've got? Every strike, every...
As you can hear, the voice is actually performed with emotion. It doesn't sound like a flat reading of text. It feels acted out, like what you'd expect from a real actor. Now let's switch the voice to natural.
Is this all you've got? Every strike, every desperate move? It's nothing but noise to me! Is this all you've got?
In this mode, the voice still has some performance, but less than in creative mode. Creative mode gives you a lot more emotion, while natural mode aims for more balance. Next, let's see what happens when we set the slider to robust.
Is this all you've got? Every strike, every desperate move? It's nothing but noise.
As you can tell, the difference is quite clear. Here, the voice sounds much more like it's being read rather than acted. It's closer to a straightforward narration, slower, more neutral, and less expressive. But for our purposes, what we really want is the creative mode. That's because we're looking for a voice that feels expressive and more like an actor's performance. Of course, this might introduce some artifact or unexpected results. But when it works well, the outcome is excellent.
If I use this technique, I can multiply my powers by 10. No! By 100!
Prepare to the dawn! And now, witness the true culmination of your folly!
And that's the mode we'll be using.
Nice try, but I'm still alive, you idiot!
Wait, it was an artistic misunderstanding. Don't hurt me, please.
Now what we can do is add tags directly into the text. These tags let us specify the emotion of the voice at a given moment. In other words, they guide the AI in the same way you would guide a voice actor. For example, with a Seiyuu, you might say, here you should sound angry, or here you should sound happy. It's exactly the same idea with the AI. By adding tags, we can tell it when and how the emotion should change in the performance. For example, here I'm going to add several tags at once, like laugh harder and mischievously, at different points in the script. At the very beginning, we can clearly hear the laughter, just as we specified in the script.
You call that strength?
And later on, the tone does shift to mischievous, so you can see that the tags worked. However, it doesn't always happen that smoothly, depending on the voice you're using, the way you configured it, the way it was generated, or even the prompt you gave it. Some tags might not work as expected. That's why the voice creation step is so important. The prompt, the preview text, all of that plays a key role in how well the tags will actually work afterward. Beyond emotion tags, you can also add sound effects directly inside your script. For example, I can insert a tag like Gunshot here, and another tag like Explosion there, and when I run the script, you'll hear an actual gunshot sound at this point, and an explosion sound at that point. So with tags, you're not only controlling the tone of the character's voice, but also the sound effects in the scene. Now, where can you find ideas for tags? In the documentation, you'll find a list of predefined tags you can use. For example, laugh, laugh harder, and so on, as well as sound effects. But of course, you can also use your own custom tags. With tags, you can define things like an accent, the age of the character, their gender, and more. The possibilities are almost endless. You can even make the character sing. From here, it's really up to you to experiment and find the tags that best fit your needs. Don't hesitate to try things out and share your discoveries in the comments.
And soon it will swallow you! Oh!
So in practice, to script the voice, we can simply write a prompt into an LLM. For example, we might say, I'd like you to generate text in English that uses stage direction style tags written in a dramatic, theatrical, and emotionally dynamic way. Then we specify the line we want to use along with an example. All the prompts are available in the description. What the AI will do is insert the tags directly into our script. And when we run it, you'll see that the script is now tagged. Now, when I take that into ElevenLabs, you can hear how the tags influence the voice.
You must understand, it was never about you. It was about the beautiful, intricate patterns of the game itself! Yeah, and pawns are meant to be sacrificed.
It's not always perfect, it depends on the voice you're using, but most of the time the tags are taken into account and they shape the way the line is delivered. For instance, here's a version with no tags.
In my game, and pawns are meant to be sacrificed.
As you can hear, there are no real variations. Of course, even without tags, you'll still get some natural emotional variation, but it's more random. With tags, you get much more control. You can do the exact same thing with sound effects as well.
The sky itself trembles at my power! Step forward if you dare! Your screams will echo into eternity!
Now, here's what I usually do in practice. First, I go into an LLM and give it my line. Then, I ask it to add punctuation throughout the text, so that, even just by reading it, you can already feel the rhythm and emotions. After that, at the very beginning of the line, I add one or more tags, usually one for the character's emotion and another for the pacing of the voice. So basically, I rely on two things: punctuation to carry the emotion, and tags at the start of the line to guide both tone and delivery. Now I'm going to show you an animatic using the line you see on screen. After that, I'll show you the AI-generated animation that corresponds to this animatic. What we've just seen is also a good opportunity to show you how I create my own animations, starting with an animatic and then moving toward the final animation. Of course, this one isn't the true final version yet. There are still some adjustments and small artifacts to fix before it's really polished. Now it's your turn to practice. Adapt your prompts in your script so you can really bring your characters to life. This often takes several attempts. In the video, it may look like I get good results on the first try, but that's just to keep things moving quickly. In reality, you'll usually need multiple tries to get the right outcome, because sometimes there are a lot of artifacts. So yes, it takes practice. Don't hesitate to experiment, try out different structures, different approaches. The more you test, the more you'll discover new ways of doing things, and you'll eventually develop your own unique workflow. So, do you remember the little game at the beginning of the video? Here's the reveal. Clip number 2 was actually the French dub of Hunter x Hunter. Clip number 3 was the original Japanese version, and clip number 1, that was the AI-generated version. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to take just a moment to tell you about the new website. The website is now live and available online. On the site, you can already find some courses. The first module is about learning how to create keyframes. Keyframes are the starting point for creating your own visual identity and style. I'll be releasing 1 episode per week until all 10 episodes are available. Other modules will follow to cover the entire field of AI-based anime creation. You can purchase the videos individually if you only need a specific lesson, or you can buy the full module. It's completely up to you. I wanted to make sure you don't have to pay for content you already know. As for upcoming videos, there will be one specifically for beginners, and later we'll dive into sound effects as well. And finally, just a quick word about my own animation projects. They take a lot of time because I'm actually working on a full series, not just short 2-minute clips. That means building a coherent story across multiple episodes with several characters, each with their own voice, and generating a lot of different scenes. It's a huge task, which is why I'm less active right now. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And here's the little final twist.